Hello friends, welcome to Ex-Amitian Smriti Notes for Biotechnology. In today's lecture, we will study about biological experimental designs and sampling methods. So let's start with biological experimental designs. So let's start with completely randomized design. An experiment where treatments are designed at random. All treatments are randomly allocated among all experimental subjects. That means it gives equal probability of receiving a treatment to a plant, animal, or a soil. I have mentioned the formula along with some advantages, which are it is complete flexibility is allowed and replicates may be used. It is simple and easy, and some of the disadvantages include it has low precised, it does not suit for longer number of treatments because a relatively large amount of experimental material is needed, and this completely randomized design can also be applied in laboratory or growth chamber experiment, and the standard error is calculated as under root of variance error, and R1 and R2 are number of replications. This design is useful for plot cultures. Now next type of design is random block design. Here the experimental units are grouped into blocks according to known variation, which are isolated by the blocks, and the subjects are sorted into homogeneous group which are called as blocks, and the treatment are then assigned at random within the blocks. They have no restrictions on the number of replications. It has various advantages, disadvantages as well, and the standard error, that is the under root of variance error, where R1 and R2 are number of replications which are basically equal. This type of design can be used in fertility production, consumption of certain foods, and use of other drugs. Next type of design is Latin square design. In this type of experiment, the design which simultaneously controls the fertility variation in two directions is called as Latin square design. The field here is divided into homogeneous blocks in two ways. The blocks in one direction are called as rows, and in the other one are called as columns. The number of rows is same as the number of columns, that is, they are equal to the number of treatment. The standard error is 2 under root of variance error divided by n. It has various advantages. The very important is it is more accurate than the previous two, that is CRB and RBD. In the next page, I have shown the diagram which shows the equal number of rows and columns. It has several disadvantages as well, and it is used in mathematical puzzles, board games as well. No numerical part comes on these topics. This is just for the theory part. Next type is factorial designs. They are experiments whose design consists of two or more factors, each with different possible values. That means they are independent variables. The factors can be quantitative as well as qualitative. They may be names rather than number, like site B, present or absent. They depend on factors and levels. It has various advantages and disadvantages. I've mentioned them. Advantages can be it is more efficient than one factor at a time, while at the same time it is difficult to make unit homogeneous if number of treatment is large. They are basically used in determining aldehyde in a base. Next topic is sampling, that is probability and non-probability. In the earlier video, that is in the first video, I had written about probability, its types and types of events. You can go back to that video and have a look at it. I'll be sharing the link below. In this video, we will focus more on non-probability. These are some of the methods which are used in non-probability as techniques. Now we'll see them in difference. In probability, the subject of population gets an equal opportunity to be selected, whereas in non-probability, it is not known that which individual from the population will be selected. probability is also called as random sampling, whereas non-probability is also called as non-random sampling. Probability uses the method objective, whereas in non-probability it uses the subjective. I've written various techniques that can be used in probability and non-probability sampling. You can use any 2 to 3 of them and write it. For the probability in detail, you can go to the previous video. The link is in the description box. Some important techniques of non-probability sampling are convenience sampling, snowball sampling, judgment or purposive sampling. I hope now you're clear with biological experimental designs and sampling methods. For any other doubt, do comment and let me know. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe.